Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Alyssa Shoemaker. I am a Superstar Diamond, two-time top 10 elite coach, and I'm super excited for you to hear about how you guys can kind of take control over your business and really make sure that you use your time most efficiently. And then also understanding what some things and some tips that you guys can use within your business to really help you understand and manage some things. So I'm excited that you guys are here. I'm going to get started right away and get started with our 3 valuable lessons. So for one, first lesson is you cannot help people that are not ready for change. Number 2 is control the controllables. And number 3 is the Pareto's principle. So I'm going to first start off by telling you guys a story about myself, because in case you guys don't know, I am much different today than the person that I was, say, 5 years ago. I lacked a lot of confidence. I didn't really know who I was. I had body dysmorphic images. I struggled with anorexia and bulimia from the time that I was 17. And this picture here is actually 2 days. I was down in Florida with my son, Gavin. He was 2 years old at the time. And this is actually 2 days before I had one of my life-changing events, something that basically bounced me back and shook me all up and had a huge impact to who I was and what happened and made me who I am today. I ended up in the hospital, actually, in the emergency room with dehydration and heart palpitations. In this very picture, I was in full-blown bulimic state. I was doing a lot of purging. I just wasn't happy. I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of depression. And anytime that I had stressful events happening within my life, I always resorted back to the eating disorder that I had dealt with from my teenage years. I was struggling with being a mom. I was struggling with working. I felt like working, that I wasn't, being a good mother. And I had all these things like going through my head. And so when I look at this picture, it just brings back so many memories to me because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all. I had no self-love whatsoever in this picture. And when I ended up strapped up to, a bunch of different machines, and I had lethal cardiac rhythms, and I looked at my little boy and I just realized that, you know what, Alyssa, like, this is enough. This is enough about you. This is enough about all the things that you have gone through. If you don't get your crap together, you're not going to be here to see this little boy. And I just so vibrantly remember that day, and it just shook me up. And as some people say, like, I hit rock bottom on that day. And I decided that, literally made a decision that, like, enough was enough. I had been in and out of counseling sessions before, and nothing had helped me. I would be okay for a little while, right? And this was just an impact so profound within my life that it was literally a decision that was made that, okay, enough is enough. Now, I'm not saying that I don't struggle. I still struggle with some of the eating things, but I'm so much better than I was before. And I so love my body because I've been feeding my body and my brain with so much personal development, especially over the last 3 years, that I can definitely control that diamond or that devil that's been sitting on my shoulder for so long. But the thing is that I want to share this with you is that I made the decision. I was ready, finally, after 8 years, that I was going to actually make the change. And I had to be there no matter how much my parents loved me, no matter how much my husband loved me, no matter what treatment I went through. I had to be the one to decide that I was going to make a difference in my life. And here's another picture that I wanted to share with you in another story. This is my stepfather. He's been in my life since I was 8 years old. He's a very lovable man. He also is an alcoholic. And no matter what I do, no matter how much love I show him, no matter what treatment facilities I get him in, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the disease that goes on with his body. And he's not ready to make the change, guys. I've been there. I've tried to love on him and talk on him, and it's to the point that I couldn't let him be around my children because I didn't know if things were going to be safe or not, and all those things that he was missing in his life, you would think that it would make a difference, and it didn't. And so this is just so profound to me, because when we come across people every day, we come across our challengers and our coaches and people that we're talking to. We can only be a facilitator for change as a coach when people are ready to make a change. And to me, that gives me so much grace as a coach, because I know that I can only work with those that are ready for change. When people tell me no, I know that it's not me that they're saying no to. I know that they're not ready. I know that after I've reached out to a challenger multiple times and I remind them of their why, and I remind them of why they are here and why they want to make a change, and they don't respond, I know it's because they're not ready. I know that it's not me. I know that it's not me as a coach. Same thing with my coaches, right? When I start coaches and all of a sudden they go to Beachbody Island, I like to call it, they're just poof, gone, right? Super excited, and then they just like disappear. Yeah, that happens to all of us. I know that it's not me. I know that they're not ready. Maybe it's the business opportunity. Maybe they're scared to invite. Maybe they learn and they decide, you know what, I don't have time for this. Whatever the reason might be, I know that it's not my training. I know that it's not my team. And that, you guys, is so unbelievably freeing, to know that you can't control somebody else's behavior, and that all you can do is lead by example. And when those people are ready, they are going to make a change. When people are ready they change. They never do it before then, and sometimes they die before they get around to it. You can't make them change if they don't want to. Just like when you want to do it, nobody can stop you. So, personal activity is the cure to what ails you. We're going to talk about now about the controlling the controllables within your business. So, how many of you guys, excuse me, how many of you guys reach out to your coaches and you know that maybe all of a sudden they go like AWOL, right? You have no idea where they go. They're like doing so great in their business, and all of a sudden like they're gone, right? And so you reach out to them and you're like, here's your why, and here's all these things, and you remind them of all these things, and they're still just really not interested in the business. Or maybe you're trying to help your coaches to Success Club, and they're not doing the activities, right? And so there's nothing that you can really do if they're not going to do the activities. It doesn't matter how many scripts it is that you provide them. It doesn't matter the training. If they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. And how many of us fall in the traps of, my team isn't doing what I want them to. My team isn't moving. How do I find these new people? How do I get my team motivated? The truth is you can't motivate them if they don't want to be motivated. There's nothing that you can really do. Same thing with your fallen diamonds. How many of you guys have people that have had fallen diamonds and you try to help them back? Guys, they know how to personally invite. They know how to work the business. If they want to get their diamond back, they're going to do the activity to get the diamond back. And so all that you can do in your business is your personal activity. That is how you are going to rank advance. That's how your business is going to grow. Super cool, right? You have control over your business. I want to give you guys permission to understand that you have control over your business. So, talking about controlling the controllables and what can you control? So if you have control in your business, then what is it that you can control? Well, number one, your fitness, right? Number two, your personal growth. Number three, forming and inviting. And number four, communicating with your team. We're going to go over these here for a second. Fitness. Easy, right? You have Beachbody On Demand. I mean, you can literally use your phone. They now have Beachbody On Demand app. So if you guys are Beachbody On Demand members, you can have downloaded, so you don't even need Wi-Fi. So there's actually no reason on why you can't get your fitness in. It's that easy, right? So fitness should be pretty much non-negotiable, and there should be no excuse for why you don't get your fitness in unless you're sick or you're not feeling well or something, but it's readily available. So this is something that you can easily control. Most coaches can easily control their fitness. There's so many different programs and varieties that the fitness part, I feel, is what most people can control. Number two, your personal growth. I believe that your personal growth is one of the most important things that you can do for your business, because as you just heard my story, your mindset is everything. If you think that you are going to be successful, you will be successful. If you think that somebody isn't going to join your team and you can't hit Success Club, well, guess what? Your thoughts become your actions. And so when we are pouring ourselves into others over and over and over again, it's so important that you are filling your cup. Most importantly, when it comes to personal development, is that you are doing personal development that's going to strengthen your weaknesses. I know a lot of times we start new coaches and they get started on like the compound effect and the slight edge and maybe some network marketing books. But I always tell my new coaches, you know, what areas do you struggle with? Do you struggle with confidence? Do you struggle with social media? You know, what areas do you struggle with? Because 20% of what you learn in a year is going to produce 80% of your income. Pretty powerful statistics, right? So fueling yourself, making sure that you are a better person, making sure that you have more to give, so you're more inspirational and you're motivational. This is part of your job and something that I think we should not take lightly. All right, number 3, this is my little inviting. And I think this is where so many people, new coaches, get all hung up, right? So this is just an easy scenario that I want you to think about. One of the things is that your virtual business, your Beachbody business, is a business. It's a legitimate business. Just because you might have paid, you know, $39.95 to get started, you pay $15.95 a month, or maybe you bought your challenge pack. This beautiful business is able to create lifestyle changes for individuals, including myself. And I think that the important thing is that I've always treated my business like it was a brick and mortar business. So I always open my business every single day, right? Every morning I check in. I always, every day, no matter where I'm at, I always open my business. I'm always posting on social media about my business as well. And I open and I close my business. But the most important thing here, I think, is that, you know, if you were just opening, and let's just say like the most swankiest restaurant in the best part of town, you would, without a doubt, your friends would know, your family would know, your community would know. You would have probably blasted it all over social media, not just your personal Facebook page, but, you know, your business pages, like a Facebook business page. Maybe you would be taking pictures of some of the tables and the appliances and what the room's going to look like before it even opened, because you just invested so much money into this business and you are so excited about it that you are going to tell everybody about your business. You're going to tell everybody about your food. And this is exactly what we need to be doing as coaches. There's no difference at all. So when you're forming relationships with people and you're inviting them to challenge groups and you're inviting them, you know, to look at the business opportunity, I just want you to think like you're inviting them to check out your menu. You are inviting them to come into your restaurant. Maybe this particular restaurant can be another franchise. There's no difference. You're just simply inviting them to check something out. And that's when you take that away, when you understand there's no emotion involved, when you treat your business like a regular business, just like you would tell anybody else about your restaurant, it makes it so much less scary. And this is what I teach my team when it comes to inviting. There's no difference. So don't prejudge. Share people you open up your restaurant. Be sure to blast it on multiple social media sites, not just your personal Facebook page that might have 200 friends. Because if you did that with your new $500,000 restaurant, guess what? Your business wouldn't be open for very long. So think of your business, guys, as a restaurant, and make sure that you're inviting at least 5 people a day to either coaching or to the challenge groups, because it's the only way that they're even going to know that, 1, you're a coach, and number 2, that you have an opportunity that could potentially change their lives. All right, the third part here is communicating with your team. And I think that this is where a lot of coaches kind of get hung up. I know that I have multiple times, because I'm a caring, loving individual. This business has absolutely 100% changed my life. 100%. From being more positive to having an amazing community to being able to be home with my children. to making, a 7-figure income. This business has literally changed my entire life. And so when I see women come into my business that have this huge, amazing potential and I see them do nothing with it, it drives me crazy because I know their dreams and I know their whys and I want my friends to succeed. But I can't make people do what they don't want to do, right? Those fallen diamonds, those people that you're like, oh, I'm going to get their rank back, right? I'm going to help them get their rank back. They'll get it back when they want to get it back. There's nothing that you can really do about that. So when you're communicating with your team, it's really important that you're just meeting them for where they're at and you control on what it is that you're doing with your team and who it is that you're spending your time with. And we're going to talk about this here in a second. But you can't control what your team is going to do. And that's just really important. All you can do is meet them for where they're at. Once you understand that, you're going to understand, and we're going to talk about this here in a second, you're going to understand where your business needs to focus. So realize you are responsible for your life. The decisions, the choices you make are yours. Don't blame others for things not working out. Take responsibility and change the things that need changing. If you want to be a top 10 coach, you can be a top 10 coach because all of the activities that we just mentioned, you have control over. Those are the business building activities for your business. Those are the things, your personal activities is what is going to grow your business. Okay. I love my team. I love my team to a fault. And I have been hurt so many times over and over and over again. And it's my own fault, right? It's my own fault of wanting it more for people than they want it for themselves. And I still struggle with this. But I just want you to know that if you want to achieve something, then you need to control the controllables within your business because you can't rely on your team to do it. You are the one that is responsible for your life. The third thing I want to talk about today is the Pareto's principle, aka the 80-20 rule. And I think that this is just phenomenal and applies to so many things within our business. 80% of results of your 80% of your results are from your nutrition, 20% from your fitness. What does that tell you? You better be drinking your Shakeology, right? You better be drinking your Shakeology, and you better be telling people that if they're not working on their nutrition, then they're not going to be getting the results that they need. 80% of your business should focus on personal activity and 20% with your team. How many of you guys get your first or second working coach and you're like, awesome, it go into management mode and you stop growing your business? Guys, you got to put your oxygen mask on first. You have to make sure that you're hitting Success Club. You got to make sure that you're getting your invites out, you're getting your posts out, that you're building those relationships before you go back and help your team, because nobody is going to do your business for you. 20% with your team, 10% with your new coaches, 10% with your rock stars. The people that are in the middle, the people that maybe just want to be in your challenge groups, maybe aren't really serious into the business. Those people, you love on those people, but you meet them for where they're at. Okay, so you can't force somebody to run the business, just like you can't force somebody that doesn't want to change, right? You can't force somebody to become that says that they want to build a big business and then they decide they don't want to. People can change their minds. And so 80% of your business needs to be focusing on making sure that your business expands and making sure that you continue to invite instead of just support. 20% of your invites will be interested. This doesn't mean they're going to say yes. They'll be interested. Well, 80% are not interested. What does this tell you? It tells you that you have to invite. A lot of people, right? If you want to hit Success Club 10 every month, it means you got to be inviting. It means you have to be forming new relationships. You can't rely on the 3 people that say yes or tell you that they're going to order, and then you send them the link, and all of a sudden you're scrambling to hit your goals at the end of the month. You have to be talking to a lot of people every single day, especially if you want to, have higher Success Club points. This all comes down to numbers within your business, something that I had a total hard time to grasp because I'm just not a numbers person. I don't look at people at numbers, but when I look at activity, and I know that if I increase my activity, I'm going to increase my results. 20% of your team is going to produce 80% of your results. What does that mean? It means that you need to be working with those coaches that are running. You need to be working with those coaches that are starting to really build a team, because oftentimes, you know, our leaders go off and they start leading and they start doing all this stuff. And you don't think that they need your help. Well, run right along with them. So make sure that you're doing calls with your leaders. Make sure that you guys are walking together and you guys are doing things together as a team. And this is where you can really provide that mentorship, because they are the people that are going to produce 80% of the results in your business. You can't chase everybody. You can't help everybody. So you need to be focusing on the 20% of your team that's going to be producing the most results. When it comes to activities, I thought that this was really awesome. But 20% of what you do is going to bring 80% of your results. So new contacts, inviting, following up, self-development, and communicating with your team is going to bring you 80% of your results. Now, those fancy posts that we take too long to make, sometimes the blog posts that we take too long to make, deciding that we need to make another new coach training or more videos for our team where they can search 5,000 of them on YouTube, that does not build your business like these other activities do. So when you do this 20%, when you're doing these activities right here, I want to make sure that you're in your bright zone, right? That you're in your most creative space, that it's quiet, and that you get this stuff done, because this is what's going to bring you 80% of your results. I'm not saying don't make blog posts. I'm not saying don't make YouTube videos. I'm not saying don't make fancy posts on Facebook. But I'm saying that this stuff right here needs to be done first, because this is what's going to actually bring the most results within your business. So those are the 3 things that I have really been working on this year within my own business. And I feel like, right? I can breathe. I can know that, you know, I can't help people that don't want to be helped, right? I can only control myself. I can't control what my team wants to do, right? And also that I have to invite a lot of people, because I know a lot of people are going to tell me no, and a lot of things that I can tell and bring to my team. So when you stop trying to control, change, or fix people and simply love them right where they are at, miracles happen. And I want to end the story just by saying that no matter how much I loved my father, no matter how many different insurance companies I had to deal with to get him into treatment, he finally, 2 months ago, decided that he was going to go to treatment on his own, because he missed seeing me and he missed seeing his grandchildren. Nobody forced him to want to change. He simply decided that he wanted to change, and I simply loved him for right where he's at. So guys, just remember, like in your business, never shut the door on anybody. Love everybody for where they're at, and just continue to love and support those people that are ready to change. All right, guys, I hope that this helped you and that you guys feel like a sense of relief, because I know that just by applying these 3 principles in my business this year, I am so much more focused. I feel like I don't have the world sitting on my shoulders anymore, and that I can actually make a difference in people that want to change. So I hope this helps you guys. Thanks so much for listening. I will make sure I get the recording to everybody, and I hope you guys all have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day.